that in there. Get that in the shot. Okay, you have to tell me if you can hear me. As always, my biggest fear at the start of all of these things. One day I'll be confident and start without saying, hello, can you hear me? And then you won't be able to. So yes, that's why I always start it that way. I hope you're having a good Sunday evening or whenever it is. I am supposed to be editing and working, but it's too hot. It's so hot here in Canada right now. I can't do anything. So I was like, well, let me at least come on and chat and be productive and do something with my channel and not just go and play Persona 5, because then I will just fall down the Persona 5 hole that is the amazingness of that game and never come out. I will never return from Persona 5. I'm enjoying it too much, far too much. I'm already planning for my second playthrough and I'm not even halfway done my first. I'm like, ooh, so the next time I'll do like, I need to stop. I need to stop. Oh, it's worse than hot. It's also humid. It's the humidity, like, because then you're just sticky and gross and you don't want to do anything. You just want to lay there like a lizard, just turn into a literal lizard person. You have to worry. Like, you know, people always have these conspiracy theories, lizard people. I'm like, they're not going to make it. The lizard people aren't going to make it in this climate. Oh no, you should sleep. 3 is so early. You need sleep. Oh, I don't know. You see, I'm late to the Persona party, Kyle. I am on 5. I don't have any old consoles. I was so bummed because I was like, oh, I want to play 4 and 3, but I don't have a PS3 or a PS2 or any of that stuff. So yes, I can't even play Catherine yet right now. And I'm like, I want to do all of these things. Why am I so late? Sometimes it's fine if you're late to a TV show, but when you're late to a game, sometimes it's just an ordeal to get back in and find out what you're missing, unfortunately, because I really want to play those games too, especially because I'm enjoying 5 so much. Also, all the subtle stuff and the dating stuff, you know, it's right up my alley. I've heard good things about Catherine. And because now that I bought Persona 5, my PS4 is all like, you can stream Catherine. But I haven't heard the greatest things about streaming it. So I'm hopeful. I'm that person who will buy a remastered version of things. I'm like, please remaster it because I don't have a PS3. Oh man, a fire. Stay safe. Look, we just started and I can't talk. Wow, that's not a good sign. Also, Mr. Shipper already gave me my timeline. So I already have a preordained time that I can stay for. And then so it's not going to be impromptu. He doesn't have to go get the big white hook and pull me off. Oh, hi, Christopher. Oh, top 10 nerd. Yes, my top 10 nerd days. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the color blocking 80 shirt. As soon as I found it, I had to get it. I don't have a PS Vita either. I don't have anything, okay? I have nothing. You have nothing, Jon Snow. So I thought that because we only... Oh yeah, what time is it for everybody? So it is... Yeah, it's 9:52 for me too. Same time zone, meow. So I thought I would do a kind of impromptu creator chat. I was actually filming before this, which added to the heat because I had the lights on and oh my goodness. So I finally filmed my review for Internet Famous and it ended up being a lot of talking about, you know, content creators creating content online and the stuff that people are afraid to talk about or ask about. So I wondered if there was anything you guys had ever wanted to ask about a creator creating stuff for fandom or anything like that. And I thought it would be fun to talk about it. Like, you know, just like the taboo things that we liked or didn't like, I thought it would be fun to just, you know, ask away, ask these questions. I can't promise answers, but I thought it would be fun if anybody had any questions like that. Or of course we could just get random like we normally do. I mean, I don't think anything will top bagged milk, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, bagged milk will forever be one of the heights of this stream. So We'll have to see if we can top it with something equally odd and potentially Canadian. Next ship? Oh, the next ship is Wolfstar. Wolfstar. I've already started, so it should actually be soon. Of course, it'll be early access for patrons, so it should be there for maybe about 4 or 5 days, and then it'll become live on the main channel. But that'll be the next one. I think the only thing before it that might come live on the channel will probably be the internet famous review. Aiden, Wolfstar is a Sirius Black and Remus Lupin. And I will also explain why it's called that, because every time I say Wolfstar, people are like, why? What is that? Why is it called that? So that will definitely have to be, that is definitely part of it. So how has your weekend been? Let me know. What have you done? Have you done anything exciting, interesting? Do you have any burning creator questions that you need to ask or need answered right now for this limited time only, this limited stream only? A collab with Roya or Kelly? I definitely love to work with Roya and Kelly again, for sure. Oh, random podcast notes. What's your podcast about? Tell me. I need to know. Oh, nice. And you got to keep the kisses, right? That's the best prize. The best prize is when you get to keep the candy in the jar. Like, no, forget the gift certificate somewhere else. I want the candy in the jar. Please give me the candy that is in the jar. Oh, I hope you have a good move. So Demi, I'll answer yours first, and I'll come back to Best Girl. If I forget, Fluffy, remind me. I started because I love ship manifestos. I felt like there was very much a gap online for that kind of discussion about fandom. Did I say about the Canadian way? I did. About fandom and shipping. So that was really what got me into it. Also, when I was working on other channels and stuff, it was fun to have my own project that I was working on that I had complete creative control over. Best Girl. Okay, so Persona 5. The game wants me to be with Makoto, but I think it also wants me to be with Yusuke if it was possible. But I actually really like Makoto, so I'm going to try to go for that, even though the challenges and the social blocks and the skills that I need to have. But I will power on through. And I will get there, because for me, it's not Anne, because the game wants Anne to be with Ryuji, and I kind of do too. So, yeah. Hogwarts House, Nipun. I am Slytherin. Proud Slytherin. Sadly, not wearing any green today. My hair is sort of green, but only for a little while, because the hair decision has been made. For those of you who have been here for all the streams, you know what I'm talking about. Decision made. Doing it this coming Thursday. So for not this Tuesday, by next Tuesday's stream, it's going to be different. How long do I plan to do this? Like this stream? I'm here till 11. I'm here till 11, guys. So about an hour. An hour, then I have to go and finish transferring footage and all that stuff, because I am transferring the footage that I filmed. The sweaty footage. What's your favorite and least favorite ship video you've done? I can tell you my least favorite. It has nothing to do with the content or the ship or anything like that. It is because of an audio error that occurred that just makes me so sad. It's Wondercat, because my daughter kicked over my microphone, and when I listened back to it, it didn't sound that bad. And so I thought, okay, it's good to go. And I launched it on Patreon first, and nobody said anything. So I was like, okay. And then it went live on YouTube, and it was just a tin can. I'm recording live from a tin can, and it just makes me so upset because my one pet peeve is audio. So to know that that's out there, not with the best audio, I'm just like, I want, I want to almost re-record the intro and outro and then re-upload it. But I know that people are like, why are you re-uploading it? So I'm just trapped in this realm of, do I re-upload it? Do I leave it? Tin can, non-tin can? I don't know. I'll probably crack one day when I have time and re-upload it, especially if I end up having to reference it again, which will definitely be a thing if we ever do Thor and Diana. So probably if I do Thor and Diana, I will re-upload Wondercap just to fix that audio in the intro and the outro. Part of me even wants to ADR it. That's how much it bothers me. I want to go in ADR style and just dub it. Just watch my lips and dub it over with proper audio. I can't even handle it. Let me scroll back up, see if I missed any. What did I miss? Do you ever want to do something and then chicken out for fear of how others will react to it? No, I don't chicken out. But there is stuff that I do, and I have to space them because I know there's going to be a certain reaction. Like, for example, if you do Thorky, you're not going to do Wincest right after because you know that there's going to be some people that are going to be upset to even see that topic discussed. And then if you do them in a row, then it's going to look like you're an incest channel, for example, and then everybody will want that. And so it's strategic. It's more like strategic planning of when to release things, especially if you have something that's going to potentially get a lot of thumbs down, because you can't always predict where your thing is going to be shared and who's going to see it. Because if your video gets a lot of thumbs down, it deranks it. Or it used to. I mean, the dislike button doesn't matter as much as it used to in the new system. So yeah, of course. We're still going to be here on Tuesday. This is just impromptu, like I was saying earlier, to keep me from just being up till 1 a.m. playing Persona 5. We can't do that again. No more. Oh, Silver, the non-party confidants? Like, Takemi a little bit. Like, sort of, but then Makoto happened and it was just straight focus. Tunnel vision on Makoto and her sweet side belt. Oh, you're not late, Miranda. You're not late at all. We started very recently. Is there a ship you want to do, but the amount of content to watch or read is too overwhelming? Narusasu is almost in that category. It's the kind of thing where I have to work on it while I work on other things. It can't be like, this month I'm doing Narusasu, because then that would be the only thing that I did. I would eat, breathe, sleep, Narusasu. Am I going to do the Once Upon a Time finale? I don't know. I'm definitely going to do more Once stuff for sure. Okay. So I want to do an episode talking about my favorite Once episode, which also happens to be the episode that officially canonizes and launches the official relationship of Captain Swan. And it is not for that reason. It is for the hilarious background subplot tied to it, where the show ends up deciding that, hey, remember that comedy movie Idle Hands? What if we did that but played it straight? It was the evil hand plot. Hilarious. That episode is hilarious. Bye, Meow. Off to find better Wi-Fi. What YouTubers do I watch? Luna. Why? Why did you have to... Can we discuss how daddy Cable is? Pretty daddy. But you know what? That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. Why you gotta take it there? Hidden ability. What YouTubers do I watch? A lot. I watch a lot of YouTubers and a lot of YouTubers that have nothing to do with the type of stuff I normally talk about, which is I watch a lot of makeup YouTubers, get ready with me's, all kinds of varied stuff. Some vlogs of certain people that I find interesting, comic reviews. Like it's a really wide array of people and stuff that I watch. It really depends on my mood. I almost streamed Dream Daddy tonight, but then I was like, the whole point was to not stay up for a million years playing video games. Also, I know that the first episode of Dream Daddy is just going to be me making my daddy. It's, oh, that sounded so wrong, but you know what I mean. You know, they have that really extensive character creator, and I'm that girl, the stereotypical girl who's like, a character creator, you say? Napoon, thank you, firstly. And I wouldn't say fed up. I find it interesting. Like the discussion on the different ways to take characters, I find very, very fascinating. I wouldn't say I'm ever tired of discussion surrounding a character. I can be tired of the tone the discussion is taking, particularly if it's very aggressive, but the actual discussion of what's being talked about, no, I always find that fascinating. I don't know, Awesome Kitty. How much do you like cats? Like, I need a comparison. Like, how much do you like cats? I like cats, but I don't know if I like them as much as you. Would you play Monster Prom? I don't know what that is. Maybe. It depends. I'd play a lot of things. I like Ryuji a lot. My husband is not here for Ryuji. What genre of music do you listen to? Everything. I think there's good music in every genre. I think if I have one that I gravitate more towards, electro swing. Do I have the reality stone? I wish. I wish I had the reality stone. Can I go to a reality where all my videos are done and it's not swelteringly hot? Because that would be fantastic. I want to live there. I want to go to there, as Liz Lemon says. I'll have to check it out. I'll open a tab and look into it for sure. I'm always looking for new games to play. Ah, here it is. Oh, it looks cute. The character designs are cute. Yes, that matters to me. The character design matters. Oh, lots of questions. Is there any fandom I'm not going to touch? I can't think of one. Can you think of any untouchable fandoms? That's a good question for you guys. Like, untouchable fandoms. Question mark. Warning good people, I don't know. I don't think I have any advice to give in the developer standpoint. Pugslove, I definitely recognize a lot of people who were here for the milk discussion. I mean, how can we ever forget the milk discussion? It was the best discussion of all time. Miranda, yeah, there's a Bible fandom. Of course there is. Lots of people treat it like a historical text, which of course makes it very touchy for, some people to deal with. What you're dealing with. Untouchable fandoms doesn't have to be the same as toxic. It can just be something that you don't think would be discussable. I mean, I guess that could coincide with being toxic, but it could also go the other way with people who feel less just there's nothing to discuss. It's perfect. Conversation ended. What are we talking about? Yeah, I definitely want to do Young Justice, especially when the series comes back, which I'm very much looking forward to. Sometimes a fandom is best to wait until it's calmed down. or isn't at its height, which again is like the opposite of what you should do if you want YouTube views, but YouTube views aren't worth the headache. There are lots of things that you can do for YouTube views that aren't necessarily going to bring the sort of people that you want to your channel. It's going to bring you that click-through rate, but it's not going to bring you either long-lasting fans, people who understand what you're doing, or good comments. And I don't mean good as in positive. I mean good as in non-aggressive, because that's not fun for anybody. I mean, it depends on what kind of space you're trying to cultivate, because developing a YouTube channel can very much be like cultivating a space. It depends on, and again, it depends on what you're cultivating it for. I mean, some people are just there for that quick cha-ching. And if that's the case, then, you know, play that game, play it. What do you mean by fan cast, Deekster? Like, do you mean when people pick their favorite actors who they think should play a role, that kind of fan cast? Like people who feel that David Tennant should be the Riddler? I've never seen people angry. I'm sure there are people who have been actually really, really angry about it. But mostly I've seen people who disagree or like, that's wrong, table flip. Lots of times I see, you know, some castings where I'm like, really? But nothing that's ever made me angry. Yeah, I need to do more updates, especially on ships of shows that aren't done. Most intense fandom fights you've seen or been a part of. I've seen the things I've seen. I've seen so many things. But the worst. I don't know. They're different. And so many of them, they're different in their own ways. And just when you think that something is the worst you've seen, you'll find something else that you're just like, oh, well, this is bad, but in a completely different way. So would you ever do a video on how shippers follow a certain actress or actor? Oh yeah, like from thing to thing, like how there's fics of James McAvoy being paired as his character from Wanted and as Charles Xavier, or fics where that's his brother and then he shows up at the mansion and it's all like, surprise, I had a secret assassin twin the entire time. And then you can bring in even more characters played by the same actor. That's definitely very interesting. Have you ever been to Comic-Con? The one up here. The worst response to? Okay, I've been very fortunate in that the tone that I do my videos in has mostly cultivated like-minded people. I mean, of course, there are outliers who are really negative or excessively positive, but for the most part, it's people who want to discuss things. I think for me, a bad response is when you can tell the person just didn't even listen or take the time to finish it and just got very upset based on the title or the concept. In that case, the worst has to be, I think, furry. Furries had a very negative, just right off the top, people just being very angry that it was even being discussed kind of thing. And I think that definitely, even if some videos might have more thumbs down, I don't know, I don't check. I really don't go and check that kind of thing because there's really no point. It'll just end up making you focus on the wrong things. But I think that one definitely had the most off the bat visceral reaction for people, for sure. I wish I had reality. I'm telling you, Proxima. Firstly, thank you. And I wish I did. I wish I had reality. I don't. I cannot control reality or the time stone. It would be like having a time turner times 100. Think of all the stuff you could do with a time stone. I would be so productive with a time stone. That's the stone I would want for sure. Was there ever a time when fandom stopped you from enjoying a series? I'm trying to think, because I know that there are things where the discourse has stopped me from enjoying them, like songs or the movies. Of course, it's one of those things where you blank and you're like, are there things? I don't know. Where it stopped me from enjoying it. There are definitely things where it's making me take a huge step back. I think the one that's made me take the biggest step back, and this isn't actually why I haven't done videos on it for a while. It's just because other trending things have kind of popped up and been pushed, and its schedule is very erratic. It's Steven Universe. Like, a lot of that just got very intense and just sad to witness. It was just very sad to see what happened with all of that. To me, that's a lot sadder than lots of the quote unquote like dude bro backlash or wars that happen, because it's happening in a fandom that's supposed to be so positive. So when you see that, for a while when I was watching the show, I was just thinking like, oh great, like this really positive thing happened. I wonder how this is going to be taken in the fandom. And so yeah, for a while I definitely stayed away for a bit, and then I did a massive binge catch up kind of thing. So instead of watching consecutively like I was doing, because it was a show where I was really like, oh, when's the next episode? I'm gonna watch it at the same time as everybody else. Then I was like, well, I'm just gonna wait and binge it like all of the other things that I watch. I can't tell you, Jordan. I wish I could. I can't tell you. I can't sing to myself when I work. Editing is a silent business. Silent focus, just very intense. I might have stuff on in the background, but it's not anything I'm paying attention to. It's just sounds that's not completely silent in the apartment. Hi, Joey. Come on. Creator questions. Don't make this title a lie. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't play Fire Emblem. Captain Canary is just a great ship name. It's a really good ship name. Well, I know I got the Web Claws tweet. I do just, the name sounds like a kid's TV show to me, which makes it very enjoyable. Like, hey, did you check out Web Claws? Like, it sounds like Web Claws is a car that transforms into a robot or something, which would be a great show. I know, Kara. It's always a lie. I can't help it. I try, but it's all right. These are random times. What's my favorite type of video to create? I think my favorite types are lists, because I get to dive into so many ships at once and expose people to ships that they haven't heard of. That was one of the most fun things that I saw in the latest Loki video, where it was people who were like, Frost Shield, Loki and Cap, what is that? I've never heard of this before. And that's always so cool to me when I get to introduce people to a ship, and then maybe they'll go check it out and add something more to it potentially, which is always exciting, especially with some of those smaller ships. Of course, those aren't like rare pairs, but they are things that just, they don't jump into people's minds right away, which is also really fun, because then it's also almost like you're going back in time to a moment in fandom, which can also be a little nostalgic, even if it happened pretty recently. Even though I have to keep reminding myself that Marvel's been going for, the MCU's been going for a decade. So, Oh, I don't know, Callista. I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, it depends how viable it ends up being, you know? Oh, thanks, Eric. How do I decide on the format? Most of the times I like to keep the format very as unbiased as humanly possible, informative, getting as much information out there and as many sides out there on a topic. And then if I'm doing something more list-based, I'd like to keep it a bit more loose and more fun, because those videos are necessarily going to be a bit less formal, because if they dove into all of the aspects of something, they would be massively long and not as enjoyable, I don't think. And then sometimes if something really touches me in a way that I know that I'm not going to be able to separate myself from it, then I do a special self-indulgent episode like Iron Jewel or this Internet Famous, where it's going to be a lot of my creator musings, which, oh, hi, Skip, welcome, which is very much what inspired me to do this live stream, because it is something that I talk about. Like one of the things the book really dives into that I find very, very interesting is navigating how people who come up online interact with their fans and how that's so different from other types of fan interaction. I find all of that very, very interesting, that intrinsic meta-ness of it all. Yes, welcome. And what is your question? Awesome, Kitty. I don't think you missed much, just some rambling. It is very rambly tonight. I feel bad. I feel like I'm all over the place, but it's so hot and sweaty. It's blah. It's very blah. Oh, thank you so much, Kyle. I really appreciate that. I really do try to make a space where everybody can come and talk about stuff, whether they agree or disagree. And that's why I keep, like, you know, this kind of stuff to the streams, because I love channels. I'm not going to pretend. I love channels where the person comes on and is like, this is the worst thing that I ever saw, or this is the best thing and it improved my life. I'm like, that's super fun, but it doesn't really leave space for the other side. Oh, McReese, no, my building's too old. and I like the idea of a space where people who have different opinions on things can come and share them, because that's one of the things I really like about fandom, when it feels like an open space, even if you have different ships, different favorite characters, different types of fics that you enjoy. That for me is fandom at its finest, and it's something that I want other people to experience, especially when I turn around and see so many people who aren't having that fandom experience, which I always find to be very unfortunate. It's always very sad to me when I hear things about how fandom is this really unwelcoming place for certain groups, or it's just been a really negative experience and people have left, or, you know, they don't want to deal with it, or they're scared to get into it, which is something that I hear a lot of. I hear a lot of people who are scared to get into a fandom or go into a certain site or a certain area, like, you know, like, I'm afraid of Reddit, I'm afraid of Tumblr, all kinds of stuff, because, you know, I mean, not every space can be welcoming, of course, but it's nice to try and have as many as possible. Am I musically inclined? Yes, but I'm not talented, so that's all right. So when creating an open space, what kind of open space, though, do you mean? Like for others or for yourself? Because I feel like each channel, Demi, I feel like each channel handles it very differently, which I think comes back to that Graveyard Girl Bunny discussion we were having in one of the last live streams about creating like a completely open space, and how that can be, in a sense, dangerous, especially if you model it off of yourself. Like, it's very interesting. There are many different takes and philosophies on it, and I don't know if any one of them is necessarily right, you know? Oh, bonne nuit. C'est tard, eh? Yeah. Do you like any TV show theories? I really enjoy theories. I do. Theories are fun. I'm a person who doesn't mind spoilers at all. I like knowing what's going to happen. I find it interesting. So theories for me, I'm here. I'm like, oh, theories, tell me. And I need to know all of the theories. How accurate are they? Where are the breadcrumbs and the trails? I need to know. Fanversations is fun, but I don't really think about Fanversations as a space for me to air my opinions. Sometimes it ends up happening, which is fine, but I really like to think of it more as a space where the other people can talk and be heard, especially if they want to have a voice and just talk in fandom and chat, because again, a lot of people don't have somebody to talk to about fandom, or to, or have opinions that they want to share about these topics or get across, or just have a discussion about that. Not everybody has a space to do that, which is why I like doing that. Do you think you'll ever do a fan conversation with more than one person at once? Okay, so I did an Amino live stream once for Once Upon a Time, and it had multiple people in it. I invited 6. We ended up with 3, and it was okay. It was very cluttered, and people ended up speaking over each other a lot, which I felt wasn't very conducive to having as much of a discussion, and especially if the person's more quiet, because then you can end up talking over them, and then they can end up just sitting there, which isn't great, or it has the chance to turn into one of those more debatey settings. And there's a very big difference between having like a more intense discussion, let's say, and debating, which is different. Miranda, it's just email. Yeah, just hit me up on my email. Oh, goodbye, Coffee Tiger. Oh, hello, Bleach. See, that's why I don't do spoil us with your new ships. What kind of spoiling? I don't know. Oh, Shippers Guide to the Galaxy at gmail.com. I keep it all the same. It's also always in my about page channel link. So that's where I keep all of my stuff. I used to be part of debate club. Okay, I had to leave debate club because I was too intense. They didn't kick me out. I mean, I had to leave for my own sanity. To this day, I still have anxiety about debates because I get so like, I'm going to make some notes and debate the points and counterpoints. I need to stay away from debate club. Even that episode of Community, I'm like, oh, man is good. I've got to stay away from debates. If there's a Netflix movie about debating, I can't even handle it. I'm like, no debates. I'm out. I've got to stay away from that part of my past. I turn into a machine. A debating machine, it's Terminator. She's coming back for debate points. Another Stucky update for Steve? Steve? Question mark. Oh, future conversations topics. I have a bunch. I just did a really interesting one on queer baiting and using fandom as a space to have diversity included by the fandom instead of having to include it in the actual media itself, which is going to be a lot of fun to have up. I'm editing one on OCs that I did with one of my younger fans, which is always fun because it's nice to hear perspectives from a variety of age groups, which I'm also really into. I know, Demi, like it was too intense. I would get off of the stage and people would be like, why are you so mean? Why are you so mean? It's like, I'm not mean. I want to win. That's the thing, because it's a debate. The goal is to win, and like for me, I think a conversation is best when you're just articulating points and everybody comes away with something. And I feel like, of course, there are people who love debates. And like I like them and they're interesting to watch, but they're not always the most welcoming space, especially when people get as aggressive as I do. I know, you see, Kitty Cat is good to win. the debate club blood just fresh with the debate club ground is fresh with the blood of my enemies. Like, no, we can't have that here. We can't have that. It's not about that because fandom isn't about winning. That's the thing. Oh, Clint, Tasha, the memories. Remember when people really liked Hawkeye? Remember when there were blogs dedicated to Hawkeye's arms? the arm porn blogs, because I do. Is it really a debate, though, if salt is? Yes, because I think for a proper debate, it should be about the points. As soon as you dive into, like, are we talking about, like, professional debates? Because, I mean, as soon as you dive into attacking other people's character, I feel like you've lost the debate, really, because the debate should be about, like, let's say we're having a debate about chocolate is good or chocolate is bad, and you dive into, like, this person, blah, 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 blah. Well, then you've lost the debate about why chocolate is good or bad, because that was not the point. You did not have arguments on the topic. You had to dive outside for extracurricular points, and you see, we're getting debatey. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Yes, Alan, that's right. Let's back it up there. Oh, I know, Rose. It's a problem. Like, just bathing in tears. Like, no. Jim Bill, like, okay, so fandom. What is fandom? Fandom is basically a group of people who enjoy a particular work material to the point where they want to engage with it past the end of a text. So, like, you watched a movie and you liked it and you want to engage with it more in some fashion. Are you going to go online and check out other people's reviews? Are you going to write your own review? Are you going to get a t-shirt? Are you going to write a fanfic? Are you going to draw some art? There are so many different ways to get into it. Do I communicate with other creators? Yeah, I do. What if your opponent is allergic to chocolate? So for me, I talk about a variety of fandoms, mostly from the shipping perspective. Like, we do dive into other aspects of fandom, but for the most part, we are very much involved in the shipping, which is the pairing of two characters, which does not have to be romantic, but most often is, but it can also be in a platonic or friendship sense. Incurable obsession. I think so. I mean, I follow, oh my God, their names are eluding me, which is so bad. I did a podcast with Claire Rousseau, who I also did a Fanversations with, and we did our recs, and she wrecked a couple. So if you're interested in that, I do have the link to that up on my Twitter, and we did have a whole recs list. So that should be linked at the bottom there for sure. So how are we doing? It's very mellow tonight. How are we liking it? I feel like a radio DJ. Yeah, like, hey guys, we're gonna slow it down a bit tonight. Just take it nice and slow into fandom. Gonna relax real nice. That's my radio DJ voice, by the way. Oh, that's a deep question, Hidden Ability. Should you be scared of making your own series in case the fandom starts getting toxic? I mean, if we lived in fear, we'd never do anything. So slow jams. That's right. Yeah, gamer. I've done a couple, and there definitely will be more for sure. I mean, after Persona 5, I'm probably going to talk about some Persona 5 ships for sure, because it's very interesting, especially because at first I wasn't, because I was like, that's self-indulgent. You just want to do it because you're playing it. But then the game ships. So I was like, ha, there is an additional element that is very fascinating that I can now talk about, because the game very much is like these two, and also how it handles the main character and Yusuke. And I have to say, they let me pick my own name, and my husband is making fun of me because of the name I picked for my protagonist. Like, he has a really cool name, an actual name for his character, but they let me pick. I picked Marcus Bennett, and part of it is because I like that it doesn't really sound like he's Just, regular guy, Bennett, Marcus Bennett. And now my husband is making fun of me, especially because everybody else, like, hey, Yusuke, oh, hey, Makoto, hey, Marcus Bennett. His name's great. And in my second playthrough, he is also going to be Marcus Bennett. The Adventures of Marcus Bennett for Life. I'll represent the actual liking of Kaden. Bennett, yeah, I know, right? They all call me that. Oh, it's so good. Like, what do you think we should do, Marcus? Also, I called my group the Misfits, which I think it's a super obvious, but really, does anybody actually listen to that? They give you that disclaimer about, like, don't pick a name that's offensive. I don't know, because I don't log on because I'm a hermit and I don't want to play with other people, but like, I like playing with you, like you guys, and like, especially with Choose Your Own Adventures and stuff. When it comes to actually joining in online, like, no, thank you. No one needs to see what a noob I am or the incompetent decisions I make. Favorite themes. I'll just go back into the 90s theme hole, like the Magic School Bus, which I used to sing the Magic School Bus theme to my daughter. Same with the Arthur theme. Just because I remember all of them. She'd be crying at 3 a.m, and there's me every day when we're walking down the street. You just need quick things that you can sing really easily. Oh, goodbye, baby. Oh, I'm internet challenge proof. I can't. I used to have to take part in challenges for my old work too, so I'm just kind of like, internet challenges. I know everybody that you meet is an original. And I say, hey, it's such a good theme. The show is actually good too. It taught me how to spell aardvark. I can still just sit there and be like, Aardvark. It was a good show. And I still remember the musical episode. Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. And also the homework song. Remember that one too? Just a little homework tonight. It's just, I enjoy music. I have no talent at all, but if there's a musical theme, that's why I'm so harsh on, oh, okay. So, you know how, like, when a show goes on for so long, there is no Aardvark. So when a show goes on for so long, it has a musical episode. Oh, I have a library card. I'm a card-carrying member of the library. And I like to watch musical episodes a lot. I know there's really mixed reviews on the Grey's Anatomy musical episode, and I fall into the camp of not thinking it's one of the greatest, but because they keep using the song Chasing Cars for the literal car accident, like, if I lay here, if I just lay here, like that song, my friend used that for her first dance for her wedding, and I felt terrible because the entire time I was just thinking of every single car crash scene from Grey's Anatomy. And I was a bridesmaid and I caught my husband's eye and I could tell we were thinking the exact same thing. Yes, Grey's Anatomy had a musical episode. I don't know if every show needs a musical episode. Trust me, the quality very much varies. Oh, the Once musical episode. Okay, I appreciate that everybody actually sings in their Once musical episode, but because of that, you have vastly different talent ranges and they don't always match. Like, for example, Snow and Charming, where one can sing decently and the other can't. That's very hard. Also, that episode, like, retconned the first meeting of Hook and the Charmings, and I just was not here for that. And I was so distracted by that. Every show needs to be a musical, period. I enjoy a good musical. I really do. I went through a phase where I would just watch all the musicals from back in like the 30s and 40s. What's my favorite musical episode? Probably Scrubs. I really enjoy the Scrubs musical episodes, just Scrubs in general, especially because my mom and I used to watch together and she was a nurse at a hospital. We had some really good laughs about how accurate a lot of the stuff was, especially people just taking like small items from the hospital, which is a thing that a lot of people do. Sometimes not even on purpose. They'll come home with pens in their pockets and stuff. Scrubs. I've watched all of it. Like, there's a decline after a certain point, but I really enjoy parts of Scrubs. Of course, I remember Batman singing Am I Blue? Do you remember that Batman Beyond episode where Terry takes him to the Batman musical? And then he gets really upset and he doesn't understand why. Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll get to musicals. We almost had one this month, but then it didn't end up winning the vote and happening. Oh, I need to take it off because the burning. Ow. What are your guys? I can't believe I never asked you this. Like, what are some of your guys' favorite shows to watch? I need to know. Maybe there's some new stuff for me to binge. Oh yeah, I've seen the Vampire Diaries, read the Vampire Diaries, done both the things with the Vampire Diaries. I have to say, I really enjoyed the Klaus build-up on the show very much. Like, we have to wait for Klaus, and just the way everybody said it was so intense. I loved it. Psych. Okay. Psych is my This Is Us show. I'll explain what that means if anybody cares, but oh, Black Sails just came onto Crave. It almost makes me want to keep it. That reminds me, I need to cancel Crave. I'm gonna write that note to myself, otherwise I'm going to forget. Cancel Crave. Because they annoyed me, and so they annoyed me, and that's why they're getting canceled. Oh my gosh, I remember Chassis. The list, there it is. Chassis as a ship. Yes, because I am a Batman Beyond stan and love Batman Beyond, have the entire box set, collect the comics. It's a continuation. It is definitely one of my favorites. Why did I get Crave? I got Crave because it had Teen Wolf on it and every single Star Trek series, and I can't cancel it because that's Discovery. Stupid Star Trek Discovery needing its own thing for me to watch it on. Oh, Crave. Okay, it just added Black Sails. I guess it's worth keeping around. Every now and again, it adds an interesting documentary as well. It's got Big Little Lies on it. It does occasionally get things that I can't get on other streaming services, so I guess I'll keep it. Crave. Do any of you guys struggle with deciding which streaming services you need to have in your life? Okay, so what bothered me, Luna, was that, okay, so I have multiple accounts for multiple things. I end up locking myself out. Has it ever happened to you? Like, you know what the password is, and you're just blumbling all over your keyboard, and you end up typing it in wrong 3 times. And so I did that, and I was like, okay, I'll just reset it. But you can't. You have to call them. You have to call them on the phone. And I'm like, what year is this? I don't want to call anybody on the phone. I am a hermit. I don't want to talk to people, and I have to call them physically on the phone and be like, hey, so I messed up. Can you please let me back in? Which is never fun. It's never fun when you have to make the embarrassing phone call where it's like, hi, so I failed at life. Could you please fix this for me? Oh my gosh, Leverage. I remembered Leverage. Had so many OT3s from Leverage. I don't mind talking to my friends on the phone. Like, I have some old school friends who only call, which is fine. I don't mind that, but I don't like talking to services on the phone where I'm going to be put on hold and transferred to a million different departments and have to listen to outdated hold music, which always comes on at the most awkward moment when you've decided that you're going to have a conversation with somebody else, and that's when your hold ends. Because that's life. No, what first world problems? Oh man, waiting on hold to cancel my streaming services. Oh no. Oh, the waiting on hold is difficult. Yeah, I like the librarians. I do. I was hooked from the title. I was like, librarians, people in the library. Librarian chic used to be my style in high school. I was very much like, dressing like a librarian. Yes, please. I think my high school pic is over there along with my husband's high school pic, but I won't embarrass either of us like that by going to get them. I mean, not every stream can be the milk stream where I get up and go and get something to show you guys. That's not happening. Oh, Batman, the animated series. It was the first DVD box that I bought with my own money. It has a very special place in my heart for me. What I hate about The Hold is that they feel the need to tell you how important your call is. They're like, it's important to us. I wonder if somebody actually got on the line and flipped out probably at the end. They're like, your call is not important to me. And that's why they end up saying that. Oh, I'm trying to keep the energy up. It's hot. My goodness. I need a fan. I need one of those. I need Grand's fan. Clearly, I need the magic fan and the ice that never melts from Crossroad. Huh. Oh, like it depends when you go, Lexi. I remember I always have the link up for the unlisted. So if you miss it, you can always watch it after unlisted. Favorite canceled shows. Ooh, favorite canceled shows. Okay, I really like Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer got canceled way back decades ago, though, so I don't think that counts. I'm gonna be a basic and say Firefly for sure. I really did enjoy Firefly, like not to the massive point, like point that some people do now, but I did enjoy it and definitely feel that it deserved to go for longer than it did. Almost Human, the one with Carl Urban and Michael Ealy. Yeah, I thought that needed a chance for sure to keep going. Oh, Rose Spark, Firefly was a space western, and it was actually I thought a really well constructed space western by Joss Whedon. I liked it. I have seen Dollhouse. Yeah, it's not my favorite one of his though. V, I have mixed feelings about V, but again, I felt like it had potential for sure. I know, Dylan, right? Every sci-fi show every sci-fi show only needs 10 episodes in a movie. A movie that's like almost completely unrelated kills a fan favorite character and then just decides that they solved everything. Of course. Firefly was shown out of order and some episodes just weren't shown, which is why it's really funny that there was all this backlash against fans making their own Jane hats when it was fans who made the Jane hat popular because the Jane hat episode initially did not air. So that is a very interesting moment in fandom history. Oh. I'm just reading through to see your guys' canceled shows that bothered you. Oh yeah, Sanctuary. I remember Sanctuary. My favorite Harry Potter ship. The caps lock is on. The yelling has commenced. No yelling. It's for me, it's Snoopin', by the way. Arrested Development used to be for me, but then it came back, and then I don't like it as much anymore. So I just kind of wish that it stayed canceled. I don't even know what's going on with American Gods. Actually, that was a much better adaptation than I thought it would be. but that book is very much written in a way that it would translate better to a visual medium. So I guess I shouldn't have been so surprised. Oh, really? What was that lecture about, Ducky? What was the topic of that lecture? I need to know. T minus 10 minutes, by the way. I have to be good. I have to be good. Yeah, but I haven't really clued into it yet. Cecilia. Kiara, yeah, I did. I went to uni. Yeah. That sadness should indicate how I feel about it. No, I enjoyed it, but let's just say, phrasing. It is not the path that everybody needs to take. There we go. That was diplomatically phrased. Perfect. I went to uni for a couple of things. Yeah, I double majored because I'm a keener like that. Film studies and cultural studies and critical theory. All of the majors. Oh my goodness. Cow and chicken, the memories. I'm glad you guys enjoy these live streams so much. They're very fun for me to do, and I was really nervous about doing them as well. I'm so jaded. Not jaded. That's not the right word at all. I'm just like wary about doing more interacty things, but I do very much enjoy this. Snoopin', Lupin and Snape. Do I tip my glasses? Is that a thing I do? Do I do like an anime thing where I like tip them? If I'm tipping them right now, it's because they're sliding off of my nose because of gross nose sweat. So that's a thing. I did learn to edit on my own, Holmesy, and it's something that I taught myself to do in high school. I was really into fan videos online on YouTube, and I was watching them, and it was my new favorite way to find music. And then I was like, my computer has Movie Maker. I can do this. And that is literally how I started editing. Editing fan vids is what got me my first job. I was coming to the end of university, and I was like, oh God, what am I going to do? What is this degree going to do? I was to the point where I was almost going to apply for more school because I had absolutely no idea what my degree was going to get me. And then I was like, I edit all the time. I should apply for a job. And I lucked out and I got one. And I started the day after I graduated. And so I was so lucky. And from there, I've been editing ever since. And editing is what I do professionally when I'm not doing YouTube or being a mom. I edit like other things. And I work on YouTube on a couple of different channels. But like, yeah, I actually get to edit, which is amazing. And I feel so lucky and blessed to have been able to actually do something that I enjoy and find interesting as a job. How did I start hosting videos? On the other channels, they needed me. They needed me to, and I jumped in a couple of times. Then I don't mind it. And as I did it more, I actually enjoyed that it got me more out there and a bit out of my shell, and it improved my on-camera presence, which is something I'm very grateful for. I used to edit weddings, actually. I used to edit South Asian weddings, a lot of them. I very much enjoyed that. I've done a couple of commercials for some small things, a lot of independent stores. I've done some documentaries. I did a really interesting one about fossils a while back, and I wish I could remember it because that one was actually really interesting to work on. But when you work on a lot of stuff, you tend to forget. I'd have to like pull up my resume and be like, well, in this year I worked on this. Oh, Canada, the great, in Hamilton. I went to Mac. Oh, hey, Merpuck. Yeah, probably I should do a bit of multi-shipping, actually. Oh, hey. I used to work in Brampton, actually, Clario. I used to do the commute every day. And also, yes, hashtag Slytherin pride. I know Brampton quite well. It was my second home for a bit. Oh my goodness. Multi-shipping, Erica, is when you are in a fandom and have multiple ships. It can be for the same character, it can be for different characters, but it is very much that you just enjoy multiple ships. You don't have one OTP. You can jump from ship to ship to ship at the same time, simultaneously. I know, I can't stop. They're sliding everywhere tonight. Also, they're giving me that ridge. You know, when your glasses just dig in and they give you a ridge when you take them off? I'm so afraid. My dad has a permanent ridge. I'm so afraid of the ridge. Actually, let me pull them away so they don't form the ridge. Winx Club. People are chatting about Winx Club. Oh my gosh. Did anybody have the dolls that spun up with the wings for the Winx Club? I did. Yeah, definitely Miraculous Ladybug. And I still need to do a video on that Love Square. The Love Square needs to be remembered. Yeah, I remember at McDonald's when they actually used to give out good toys and you had toys that used to do stuff. I actually, way back in the day, and this is how old it was, they actually gave out actual glass mugs for Batman Forever. And I had one. I had a Two-Face mug, a legit glass mug. I got, yeah, back in the day when the toys mattered. No, I have not seen that vid. Any advice to YouTubers? Yeah, the coin handle, right? Any advice to YouTubers starting out? Okay. I only have a few minutes, but I definitely want to answer that. I'd say there are a couple of things you need to think about, and that is why you're doing it, what you want to get out of it, and how difficult it is, and not to be discouraged by that, because it is a very competitive environment, especially right now. And depending on how it goes, you might not see a lot of growth. You might see a lot of growth right off the bat. It's very difficult to determine how that's going to go. So it's very much like you need to know what you want to do and why you want to do it, and not panic whatever result you end up getting, and just stay true to how you want your channel to go. And don't be afraid to do some of the things that will help you get views. A lot of people are afraid of that, you know, like if a certain thing is trending or stuff, they don't want to talk about, because there's very much a backlash on YouTube towards quote unquote selling out and trying to get views. But of course, everybody wants to get views, and like wanting to get views isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can just be as simple as you want people to watch your content, because of course you do. You're creating videos because you want people to see them and to share them with people. So that's something that a lot of people wrestle with, you know. And then also just the fact that as you go along, people are going, no, not necessarily clickbait, but like a little bit of clickbait isn't necessarily bad. Like not outrageous clickbait, like my sister will take her top off, gone sexual, like nothing like that, but just, you know, putting the more trending word first and stuff like that. Like, you know, if you're making a video on Loki and Tony, there's nothing wrong with putting Loki first because he's more popular, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, don't be afraid to do little things that will help give your video a leg up. And also, as I was saying before, be prepared that people are going to form opinions of you, and that they're going to be outside of your control, and just be prepared for that emotionally. And that's something that not a lot of people discuss when it comes to dealing online. And they have this very much, you know, like ignore the haters and just blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, but it's difficult. It can be difficult, you know. You won't believe which crazy ship, Dylan. I need to know. I love the caps lock. So I hope that that is a little bit helpful, at least, because I know it can be very daunting starting out on YouTube, and especially because there's so much negative discourse surrounding YouTube these days. And the thing is that here's the other most important thing to know about YouTube is it's always changing. And that's why you see so much shift a lot of times, especially in bigger content creators and the content that they create, because the algorithm and stuff, it matters because you obviously want people to, again, see your content. So that's why sometimes you'll see people jump from like, you know, long to short to lots of ads to no ads to hit the like to all of that kind of thing. And so it's important to not really judge people for that kind of stuff, because a lot of times they're just trying to suss out what works, because not everybody, depending on your level on YouTube, will be kept in the know, because it is very much tiered as to what they tell people and when. So, I mean, like, for example, for me, like, there are tons of things I could do that I just don't, because I don't have time and I'm not interested. So, because I actually like the slow burn. I like the slow burn and the slow growth, because it really helps me bring people to the community who really appreciate it and really enjoy it. And then I have great community like you guys who I really enjoy, and we can chat like this, which is great. And Erica, of course, we're going to do more Crossroads. It's not over. We will have another romantic ending. I will make it happen. And I'm not going to look at the guide. I'm going to make this happen with my own choices. I don't know why we're yelling, but I'm enjoying that the yelling is all like really positive yelling. It's like, I love this. I'm going to tell you this honestly, because Stacy, who I did a couple of conversations with, also mentioned her Discord, and I like her Discord, and she does her lives. She does like a live rewatch thing on Discord, and I'm like, that would be really fun. Why did I say like that? Like, no, like, but it would be fun to do some live rewatches and stuff like that in a space where it's not going to be like copyright claim, blah, 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 because it's not about that. It's more about just chatting about things. But I'm going to be real. I don't understand. I'm going to have somebody sit down with me and explain it to me, because sometimes there are just some things I get right away intuitively, and other things I just need them to be explained to me step by step with a child explained to me, which is how I had live streaming on OBS explained to me, by the way. I had to watch a tutorial, and it was like an 8-year-old who was like, so this is how you OBS. And I was like, thank you. Do I have a live streaming schedule, Mirpug? Yes, it's always Tuesday, EST, 9 p.m. Like, that one is guaranteed. And other times it's just when I have times where the whim strikes me. And I'll make one if I can figure it out, and if I have time, because that's the other thing too, is that, like, as a working mom, like, managing the time of when I can do things, like, my time is very limited. So I try and, like, even this, like, by doing this, I'm not editing, which I don't mind, but it's very much always a juggling act. So I'm always scared to introduce something new into that act. Like, sometimes it's really fun and positive, like with this, but other times I'm just scared that's just gonna be like, what have I gotten myself into? Why did I do this? It was a terrible idea. Everything is a lie. Like, for example, because you guys helped me find that that movie, that Sinbad movie that I was looking for last time, I'm actually going to do that idea that I was telling you guys here before about, which was Goggles Off, where we just do some reviews about things that don't necessarily tie into a meta fandom aspect or aren't about shipping. But again, I'm like, I'm scared. I'm scared. What am I doing? Oh, that sounds like a real problem, John. I'm sorry that that's happening. I'm not sure if this is the space for that. Also, we've sadly elapsed our time, actually. I'm going to be good. I'm not going to make Mr. Shipper come out and get me, because that's bad. He shouldn't need to get me every time. So I hope this was interesting and fun for everyone. I know it was kind of more mellow than everything, but yeah. So I will see you guys on Tuesday as usual. There'll be more fun stuff coming this week, you know, conversations, that review I mentioned.